Hello, everyone, and today we are actually heading back to Constantine P. Cavafy. Since I'm planning on picking up Julius Caesar again for the next video, thought we could go back to Cavafy and cover some of his Roman Civil War poems. The first one we'll be reading is Alexandrian Kings. The people of Alexandria had all gathered to see the children of Cleopatra. Caesarion and his younger brothers Alexander and Ptolemy, who for the first time were being displayed in the gymnasium to be proclaimed kings there, amid the shining spectacle of a military parade. They proclaimed Alexander king of Armenia, of Media, and of the Parthians. They proclaimed Ptolemy of Sicilia, Syria, and Phoenicia. Caesarion stood out in front dressed in the silk, the color of roses, on his breast a bouquet of hyacinths, his belt a double stitch of sapphires and amethysts, his sandals bound with white ribbons and embroidered with rose-colored pearls. Caesarion they proclaimed even higher than his younger brothers. They proclaimed him King of Kings. The Alexandrians understood, of course, that this was mere words and theater, but the day was warm and poetic, the sky an expanse of blue, and the gymnasium of Alexandria a veritable triumph of art. The luxury of the courtiers was exquisite. Caesarion himself, grace and beauty incarnate, the son of Cleopatra, the blood of the Lagids, and the Alexandrians flocked to the feast, showing their support and offering cheers in Greek, Egyptian, and some in Hebrew. Thoroughly enchanted by the lovely spectacle, knowing all the time what these things really meant, what empty words all these kingships were. The next one we are going to cover is the Ides of March. Beware of greatness, my soul, and if you cannot master your ambitions entirely, pursue them at least with circumspection and care. The further you advance, the more reason to be prudent and attentive. And when you reach your goal, Caesar, at last, when you take on the attributes of such an illustrious man, be especially cautious when you walk the street. A ruler conspicuous with your entourage, and if some attemptors should emerge from the crowd to approach you holding a letter and whispering hurriedly, "Read this now, it speaks of grey matters that bear directly upon you." Do not fail to stop, do not fail to postpone the pending interview or task. Do not fail to brush aside the passers-by who greet and salute you. You'll see them later. Even the Senate itself can wait while you read without delay the urgent message of Emperadorus. The next poem is The Gods Abandoning Antony. Suddenly, around midnight, when you hear an invisible troop of players pass, with exquisite music and solemn voices, do not lament in vain your waning luck, the many deeds undone, all of your life's plans gone astray. No, do not lament. Emboldened now, and as one long prepared, make your farewell tour, the Alexandria that's leaving. Above all, do not fool yourself. Do not say it was just a dream, or that your ears deceived you. Do not stoop to such empty hopes. Emboldened now, and as one long prepared as is fitting, for someone like you, worthy of such a city. Approach the window steadily, and listen, stirred, but not to the point of whining or complaining as cowards do. Let that music be your final joy, the exquisite instruments of that mysterious troop, and make your farewell to her, the Alexandria you are losing. Now we are returning again to the poem Caesarion, partially because it's still one of my favorites. In part to verify a date, and in part just to pass the time, last night I picked up a volume of Ptolemaic inscriptions and began reading. Those endless poems of praise and flattery all sound the same. All the men are brilliant, great and good, mighty benefactors, most wise in all their undertakings. The same for the women of the dynasty, all the Bernices and Cleopatras, wonderful each and every one. When I managed to find the date in question, I'd have to put the book aside, had a brief mention of King Caesarion, an insignificant note, really, not suddenly caught my eye. Ah, there you stood, with that vague charm of yours, and since history has devoted just a few lines to you, I had more freedom to fashion you in my mind's eye. I made you handsome, capable of deep feeling. My art gave your face an appealing dreamlike beauty. In fact, I imagined you so vividly last night that when my lamp went out, I let go out on purpose. I actually thought you had come into my room. You were there standing before me, just as you would have looked in defeat to Alexandria, pale and tired, ideal in your sorrow, still hoping for mercy from those vicious men who kept on whispering, "Too many Caesars." Now, in our last poem, it's the year 31 BC in Alexandria. From his small village on the city's outskirt, powdered in dust from the journey, the peddler arrived, frankincense and gum, the finest oil and perfumes for your hair. He cries through the street, but amid the tumult, the bands played and the parades, he can't be heard. He is bumped and jostled by the crowds until, totally confused, he asks, "What is this madness?" Then someone tosses him the palace's gigantic lie that Antony is victorious in Greece.